Hey, what up, viewers and people? You know that project you've been seeing me in the back of a couple videos now? Like literally two, but did it. This is Kain's sword from Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. And it's one of the biggest things, might be the biggest thing I've ever fucking made. So, I did this thing. Pretty wild, right? So it's, 3D printed. And I did some stuff, some cool stuff with paint. I had some specific ideas of how I wanted it to look. Um, kind of got close to it, but I did some deviations, like deviant deviations. I mean, this thing eats the things that it kills, so it needs to be a little bloody. And you know, I will say some things with building this. It's really hard to connect pieces with two-part epoxy when they're PLA. I don't know why it doesn't want to stick right, so it took a lot of reinforcement with just cyanoacrylate super glue, and then also like it was really a bitch to sand the pieces together because it wanted to kind of eat holes if you got too far off of the adhesive and too close to the PLA. It took a lot of work and rework. It's still not perfect, but it's good enough for me right now to have it looking the way that it is. But yeah, it really was hard to get these edges real nice and smooth. It's far from perfect. There's some stuff that I just kind of let slide with it just because I'm happy with the piece as is. Um, did some really cool stuff. Big surprise, Turbo Dork. Turbo Dork paint, always use them in my stuff, and I mean, I obviously see now why. I was going to see which ones to show you, but essentially, what we did with the blade here, I wanted a very unique effect to look like there was energy shooting through the middle of the blade. The way we made this happen was, I used laser face as the base, and under laser, you have to have black under laser face, and black paint with Liquitex, laser face for the first layer that has that kind of look. I then took some Emerald Nightmare and mixed it with some glaze. I just wanted it really subtle. There's some really subtle greens in here that probably aren't even showing up on the camera, but they're in there. If you look on the edges, it's almost like a yellowish, I guess, at this point, the way it looks through my camera, at least looking at it. But there's some greens in there too. And then the other thing that I did was I took spicy meatball, cut it with glaze medium, and then just did like a glaze on a mini, but not mini, big E, and did some lines and then just some layers and layers and layers and layers of it to kind of just, it's almost like a tiger's eye look that I really enjoy. I really wanted to have like black, just like shadow on the edges with that nice shimmer in the middle. Just really, really happy with what we pulled off with this blade. So yeah, and then for the guard, I was really kind of hard pressed to do it. I wanted to kind of stick close to the render art in some ways. So this is actually a mixture of Turbo Dork's Black Ice and what did I use? 2 cent, the copper, just a drop of 2 cent, and mostly Black Ice. So you can barely even see the copper in it, but it was enough to kind of elevate it just a little bit. I don't know that it made a huge difference, but I was happy with that. And then for the handle, we went for pucker over black. Also Turbo Dork, it kind of gives it a really nice burnished look to it, close to what the art looks like overall. Then the skull was just literally some Liquitex, I guess it's like I don't know, whatever, a bone color or a titanium white for the base. And then I did what you've seen me do several times before with blood and guts. It's just layers of washes and layers of like a brownish red paint, different variations of it, mixed with some paste and some coarse texture medium to kind of give a viscera feel to it. Did some kind of like some markings on it. And also I painted the skull after the white part. I was like, this needs to really look messy. I painted this with my fingers. I needed to really make it look like stuff happened, not like it got brushed on. So I painted after the bone paint. I painted the rest of it literally with my fingers. Crazy, right? So you just gotta do crazy shit sometimes with art, man. And you get crazy results. So yeah, I'm very proud. This is probably one of the coolest things I've ever made so far. And if you play that game, you're probably as excited as I am. I've loved this sword since the game came out in '99. I found on my Hexed Patreon that I'm a part of that Dude Man had the Soul Reaver to make, and I did the thing with my printer and made it print better, and because of that I was able to print this sword and make it, and now I gotta make something to hang this shit on my wall. So I hope you like it. I'm very happy with it. Surprise, I mean a giant sword. Crazy. Alright, see you guys later.